Hey guys, so today's video is very exciting because I, in amongst all this packaging, have the James Charles and Morphe palette to try. I actually had zero intention of buying this because I'm not like the hugest Morphe fan. I'm not a James Charles fan really. I subscribe to him on YouTube but actually rarely watch him. And yeah, I just wasn't interested in buying it, but I was on Twitter and we all know what Twitter gets like, and there was so much controversy around this palette, so many mixed reviews. I feel like people either absolutely love it and stan it so hard, or they loathe it and are just like ruthlessly talking shit about it online. So when I saw all that, I was like, kind of want to see for myself what I think. Now I have watched my fair share of reviews on this palette already, so I sort of know like what people are saying are the pros and cons of the palette. Heaps of people are saying, I don't know where these twangs come from, I swear, but a lot of people are saying it's not very beginner. Can't talk today. This is just the standard of what today's video is going to be. But a lot of people are saying it's not overly beginner friendly. And from watching James's video, I kind of see how that could be the case. They apparently are a combination of like normal shadows and also pressed pigments as well. I personally, pigments, I don't fucks with pigments, I'm not gonna lie, they're a little bit tricky. I think I'm pretty decent at eyeshadow, like I'm getting better every time I do my makeup, but I still have difficulties with some mediums. So I'm not expecting to have like a super hard time with this palette, but I might have a little bit of a hard time with it because I'm not like a total expert by any means. But these are the shades in the palette, and my god, when I opened this, I literally was like, that's a real pretty palette. Like, I opened it and I was feeling it, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, wow, I'm really glad I bought this because wow, those colors are just insane. And we all know I'm a bit of a fan of bright makeup these days. So there's no names on the actual shadows in the palette, but it does come with like the sheet with all the shadow names on it. I can't even remember how much this cost, but it was very inexpensive considering how many shadows you get. I'm not doing this like a full super in-depth review like Jen Loves Reviews style, not doing anything like that. I'm literally just playing with it and telling you guys what my first impressions are based off the eye look I create with it. So yeah, just a little bit of fun. I just feel like playing with colour. Even though I've been posting a lot of like purpley, mauvey pink looks recently, I feel like I still need to go with purple again because I have purple nails. I often find that whatever colour my nails are sort of inspires my makeup because I really like to be matchy-matchy. But I did find this girl I follow, she has really beautiful makeup. Let me just find her for you. So I believe you pronounce her name Kalina, and I'm going to link her in the description box. But I saw this look of hers. She used a Jeffree Star Alien palette, but I kind of felt like I could take inspiration from this colour placement and use the James Charles palette. So that's what I'm going to do today. Freaking obsessed. It looks so beautiful. If you guys don't follow her, you definitely should. She's very talented. And yeah, I believe you pronounce her name Kalina. I think that's right. And yeah, so I guess without further ado, let's just get into it. There's not really much more to say. So let's rock this bitch. So the instructions with using these shadows is quite specific, and it's a little bit different to how I would usually do my shadows. So as you guys know, I always prime my eyelids and then I set them with powder. It is suggested to not do that with these shadows. To get the best pigmentation and for them to blend, you need to not set your actual eyelids. So I think from memory, James recommended to use the P. Louise eyeshadow base. I don't have that, but he said Tarte Shape Tape will work. You just need to make sure you don't set it. So I'm just going to take the shade Fair Neutral, which is a really light shade, and I'm going to pop that on both my eyelids, and I am going to set the rest of my face, but just not my eyelids. So I'm just going to be using Sigma E25 blending brushes. I think for the most part, I'll tell you guys if I change to anything else. I'm so excited, but I'm also like kind of nervous. I'm going to go straight in with this purple shade here. So So I'm just sort of patting it on the lid first. And that's the other thing with this palette too, is the whole application process for it is very different to like, I guess what we're being taught in traditional mediums with applying shadow. It's like this whole new age of like blending for intense eyeshadow. So my very first observation and first impressions is it's definitely shadows that you've got to pat and then blend. So if you want to try and blend these like traditional shadows, I don't know how it would go. You definitely best to like pat into the product, then pat it on your eye. As you guys would have seen, I didn't do any like back and forth motions at all then to place this first color. So to blend out that darker shade, I'm going to use this color here, which is like a little bit of a lighter purple, and I'm going to pat that along the top of my lid where this dark purple finishes towards like in between my brow and the shadow on a clean blending brush. And I'm going to use that color to try and like transition it out a little bit. If you tried to like dip into this dark purple and just sweep it all over the lid, I think you would have had a really hard time getting it to blend at all, to be honest. So I mean, it's not like my greatest blending of all time, but it certainly isn't like the worst, I don't think. Kind of looks like it all just blended into one shade rather than being a gradient, but that's okay. First time using it, I maybe not need to like be a little bit more careful about the color placement, but I mean, I think it looks pretty. Okay, so I've got my brows on, feeling a little bit more normal now, so I'm just gonna dust away that powder because I think I want to blend this right down under my eyes. Like really blend it. Like drag queen blend it. So I'm just taking the same brush I've been using for that dark purple shade, and I'm gonna start like circling it down and around my eyes. Okay, so now on a short shader E20 brush, I'm going to take that darker shade of purple and I'm going to run it very tightly along my lower lash line. I'm just leaving my very inner corner blank because I'm not sure what I want to do with that yet. Now on an E30 pencil brush, I'm going to take that lighter purple shade and sort of smoke out the lash line a little bit further. I'm just going to take my E21 Smudge brush and I'm going to take this shade here, that one, and I'm just going to pop that along my brow bone. Okay, so I'm going to cut my crease and I'm going to just use the Tarte Shape Tape again in Fair Neutral. Okay, so while it's still a little bit wet, I think I need to go straight in with the lid shade on this eye, and I'm going to be taking that really bright green shade, which is this one just here, and I'm going to pack it all over the area that I have that concealer down. And I'm just using an E57 Firm Shader brush to do that. And then I'm just going to take my heavy metal liner from Urban Decay in Midnight Cowboy, which is like a gold, and I'm just going to run it all across where the green meets the purple and hope it looks really pretty. Just gotta let that dry, and now I'm just trying to decide if I should do a wing or not. Should I do a wing? I don't know if I should or shouldn't. So I am just going to pop on some wing liner, just of course using the Quick Flick as per usual. I'm actually so excited about this eye look. Oh yeah, I haven't worn these lashes in a hot minute and fuck, I miss them. Literally like the best dramatic lash. Huda Beauty Samantha all the way, baby. I've literally worn this pair, I reckon, over 20 times and she is still as good as new. I even left her in my handbag once for like a week straight and they still came out fine. So although they're very expensive lashes, they are worth it, girl, because you get the wears out of them. You know, my Ardell lashes usually last like 3 or 4 wears. These fucking up to 20 wears already, probably more. Crazy. Ooh, I'm so excited about this look. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. So I'm just going to pop some mascara on my top and bottom lashes and bitch, I'm ready to fuck shit up. Ready to fuck shit up. I'm so excited. You guys, I'm so excited. I feel like now I've got everything on. It has just all come together so beautifully. James Charles and Morphe. I am actually very impressed. I'm going to put it out there and say I am more impressed with this palette than I was with the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette. You know, I didn't hate the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, but I didn't think it was like, this palette's going to get so trash, so I can tell because of the kickback. But like with Jaclyn's Favorites palette, I like didn't hate it by any means, but it just wasn't that exciting to me, and the shadows weren't bad quality, but they weren't like out of this world. I feel like these are really great quality shadows. Now, is it the easiest palette to use? Definitely not. 110% not the easiest palette to use, but is it a bad palette? Not at all. They're just so bright and so crazy pigmented that you really have to use the pat and build application method, I feel like. It'll be interesting to test out the brown shades and see how they go, because they might be a little bit more forgiving with just like the traditional, you know, blend, 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 sweep, sweep, sweep sort of style of blending. But these, you definitely, I think the trick comes down to patting it on the lid. I actually think I could have used my typical eyeshadow primer and set it and then applied this on top. I feel like as long as you do that pat motion, it would be fine. So I'm definitely going to test that out and see how that goes with like my normal application. But like, yeah, I'm really impressed. I think my eye makeup looks beautiful. I use that really bright green shade all over my eyelid, and it has definitely dulled down a bit compared to what it is in the pan. But like for a matte shade all over my lid, I felt like it blended beautifully. Like I don't usually like matte shade all over my lid space, and I just think this looks gorgeous. And like I had lipstick on my teeth, I think. Whoopsies. And then that little glitter cut crease just brings all those matte shadows together so beautifully. I think I did have a little bit of patchy spots in the purple initially, but I think I got that all under control. And you know, once you put on a wing and a lash, it just like brings everything together, and I'm kind of fucking obsessed, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think this is a bad palette at all. I just think if you're a beginner and you're not very advanced with eyeshadow, or if you don't do super dramatic, super blendy, super like lots of color combinations, then you may not like this palette. But if you're wanting to expand your collection and you're wanting to sort of go down that path and experiment with shadows and colors and all things bright and rainbow and your inner artistry, as the collection is named, then I would highly recommend it. I think this just comes down to, it's not an everyday palette, and it certainly is a palette that has very specific ways that you need to apply it, so that can be a little bit difficult, especially if you're a little stuck in your ways, or if you're not really looking to sort of advance your eyeshadow skills and capability, if that makes sense. So I'm curious to know what you guys think, because when I said I ordered this, I did get heaps of DMs from people who said they loved it, some hated it. I personally rate it. Like, I like it and I would recommend it to you guys, and I am not like the biggest fan of Morphe, period. Not so much their shadows. Their shadows are fine. I've had their shadows in the past and there was nothing wrong with them. They were inexpensive. They did their job. They just weren't like mind-blowing amazing. But their brushes, they're also the same sort of thing. I've had their brushes in the past. I bought a heap of the Elite collection, and for the first 6 to 12 months I had them, they were actually incredible. I love how those brushes feel. They apply your makeup beautifully. But I found the handles detached from the ferrules on a lot of them over time, and I was kind of like, that's where you know that like they're not super great quality, because Sigmas, I'm telling you guys, I've never had a single handle or ferrule detach on these brushes, and not to mention they have 2-year warranty with Sigma, so if anything like that does happen, they will replace it. But yeah, so Morphe brushes, they're good quality, they do the job, but they're not going to stand the test of time, if that makes sense, which is why they're obviously at that inexpensive price point. I feel like I'm all like, ooh, but I had so much fun filming this video. I hope it was fun for you guys to watch, and yeah, have you guys tried the palette out? Are you going to try it out? What do you think of it? What do you think of the eyeshadow? I know it's fairly dramatic. I think I should do a neutral eyeshadow look with the browns in this palette. So let me know if you guys would be keen for me to do another video on it. And I can definitely do like a brown smoky eye with like a gold lid or something with some of those matte shades. And I can let you guys know how they apply. And I can even apply them how I would normally apply a traditional eyeshadow with normal set lids and all that sort of stuff. I think that might be a good idea actually. I probably will do that. But let me know if you guys want to see it and I'll get it done ASAP. So if you guys made it to the very end of today's video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Leave me some comments because I love chatting to you guys in the comment section. And of course, subscribe if you're a new face. We have a really lovely fan bam here on YouTube and I'm now uploading 3 days a week. Thank you so very much for watching, guys. I'm gonna go have a drink of water because I just realized I haven't had any water today and I'm probably going to get a headache in a second and I don't want that. So thanks for watching for the 10th time. Just thank you for watching. I'm just so appreciative. Anyway, love yous and I'll talk to you later. Bye.